Welcome to Healing Aspirations, and you're having typed in the possible word of madness of the human mind, just madness, because you're right to be able to do it. If you have been looking at your mind and watching its qualities, do you recognize the tortured sequences that it comes up with? I do with my mind. Whenever I give my human mind a chance to go, the mind comes up with negative aspects. It's either viewing some circumstance in a judgmental and critical way, or feeling that I'm threatened in some way, and that I have to watch out for what's going to happen, and that those who are threatening me are powerful in their ways. These are the human qualities of the mind that is not of God. But every single day, incident after incident, I just turn away for a moment from thinking of God. I'm driving along, I see a police officer giving a ticket to somebody for whatever purpose it is, and I go into fantasies that I will be ticketed and I will be abused, and I watch myself defending myself in this fantasy with it. Just fantasies of the human mind, of being oppressed and needing to defend myself, and the oppression being unjustified. This is my human mind. It goes at it and goes at it and goes at it, as well as a million other things that it carries on with, which I must be able to deal with. Well, God, on November 18th of 2013, described the human mind according to God's words. And it turns out that if you are very suspicious of the negative qualities of your own mind, you are absolutely right, because I'm going to read you what God says of our human mind. He wants it clear. He wants it absolutely clear of what this mind is like in order to be able to overcome it. And you were right to go ahead and look for this kind of help. You were absolutely right. And I'm going to read these off. You won't be able to keep track of them all. And by the way, they will show up. This statement will show up on the Footladder of Notes Divine. Most likely it's a month or two away from being placed on the Footladder. And so if you're looking for it, it will show there eventually, but we'll be about 2 months behind on putting it up. Now, are you ready for all of God's statements, his opinion and her opinion of the human mind? Because you know, you've seen it from other segments, that God has showed me the male and female qualities that entered into this world for God to be able to deal with us. And so when I say he and she, it's Jesus is Father God, and Mary is Mother God. Not only the mother of Jesus, but his Mother God. 2,000 years this has been denied to her, and God insists that this be known. Well, here we go at how Jesus and Mary are viewing the human mind, and it ain't not know how sweet. But you have to know this, and you're ready for this, because you want answers to this human mind. Now listen to the phrases as we go along. Pranks. Pure pranks. That's the human mind and what it does. Pranks. Pure pranks, that mind of yours. Callous and savage in its ways and its wants. How are we doing so far? Callous and savage. Indeed, when Jesus created the Christian Laity Foundation, he used the word savage, that the human mind has a savage base, which cannot be healed, has to be abandoned. You can't change it. And he's using that word again Pranks, pure pranks, that mind of yours, callous and savage in its ways, the way it does things, and its wants, what it wants, survival-oriented. I gotta be the top of the hill. This is God describing our human mind. Nothing else but what I have said before, callous and savage in its ways and wants, nothing else but, sickening, wasted, rotten to its core. You have the suspicion about where you watch the machinations of your human mind? Boy, I see it. Can it sicken us? Oh yeah, it can sicken us. Wasted. A waste of time to be indulged in this when there is another mind, that precious divine mind. And so this is a mind of waste, that it produces nothing favorable or helpful to you. You who are the divine son and daughter of God. This mind doesn't know it, and it denies to us, it delays us from recovering who we truly are. Deprived of love. Problem with the human mind is it has no belief and no experience of being lovable. And do you remember that God made the statement to me, and that it's going to appear also in the Footladder of Notes Divine, there be but one truth, ye are God's, and ye are loved. And here goes God, the human mind, deprived of love. It doesn't know how to love, and it doesn't know how to experience love. And if it experiences love, it throws it off because it's too threatening. Because with true love, what you're doing is you're giving of yourself to another person without needing to get anything back in return. Not from the human mind. It is deprived of love to either give it or experience it. Starved. It has nothing positive to feed on. It's starved, and a starved mind chases after a prey, wants to devour in order to get over that feeling of starvation. Beaten down into dislocation, that this mind has no awareness of its true nature of a loving mind that exists. This mind has no awareness of it. It has been a dislocated portion of mind that can only be abandoned. It's filled with phony thoughts and pranks. Monster mind. Well, we've been talking about that. Maudlin moments. You've been feeling that? Do you feel of yourself at times that you're an absolute monster in the way we react with people? I've seen my monster reactions, negative, attacking qualities, critical, putting down somebody else. Thank God there are answers to it. Maudlin moments, minute after minute, keeps coming back. Even after we handle it, comes back again. Doesn't mean you're failing. It's that your mind tricks you and keeps coming back and finds a place to come back and delay you more. Normal. You're not failing. Normal. So you're just going to have to repeat what the solution is for these various moments. Made of poppycock. Baloney. Made of poppycock. Dueling with its master, God, the human mind. We've set it up that we're gods, not real God. We're gods. It duels with its master, with its survival orientation, but its time is ticking into its deathly demise. Doomed, it's going that way. Done, finished, kaput, moving on. So there's a solution of moving on, and what it is, that when you catch these moments of these minds, God is saying, hand it over. Hand it over. Lord, I just caught that part of me which is rotten to my core. Don't like it. I hand it to you. Show me how you want me to look upon this. And what God does is he replaces that thought with the God consciousness. That's how this is dealt. When it's a monster mind, or you have maudlin moments, Lord, I hand this moment to you, to view it only as you want me to view it, and you get God's divine mind's presence and peace and love and joy. That's what you keep getting. This is the solution to it. It has answers. Give it to God every time you notice it. And get ready down to your last moment on earth, just as Jesus suffered from beliefs of his negative human mind, down to the end, down to the last moment where he suddenly believed that he had done something improper and God could have abandoned him, only to have God step in and show him, it is done, you have done well. And Jesus handed himself over to God and let God take him out of this world. That's what God does with you. Wants to handle every single moment of this miserable human mind. So you were right. You were right. You were right. You were right. The mind of the human nature is no good. You were right. And you're to hand it over to God every time you catch the fact that it's there, because God is signaling you it's there. It's the only way you catch it. Human mind doesn't catch itself. It's that God catches it and signals you. You've got a choice, and you can have that choice. Lord, thank you. Let me have how you look upon this, not the way I do. Have you got that? And you have to do it a lot of times a day, because your human mind never stops, keeps coming at you. But God counters it every single time it does it. And don't hesitate to pray repeatedly. If you don't feel relief, do it again, do it again, do it again. Jesus had to do that also. He had to do that with his own monster human mind. 3 times when he was in the garden that he wanted to be able to run away from being arrested and needing to get killed. 3 times God nudged him, and he repeated it until he got the strength to deal with the no good mind. If you got it, it's fine to repeat prayer. It's not that you're a weakling. It's necessary as part of healing for God to build up the strength in you to get there. Hope it's helpful. You were dead right. So glad you looked at this. Bye-bye for now.